Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make an English bloomer. This is an English sandwich bread which is free form, so it's an oval shape, it doesn't use a tin, and it's a little bit denser than some other breads, but it's very nice, and it has a crust, and you can make it crustier or not so crusty. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to do one that's doesn't have a really hard crust because I prefer not to have a hard crust. But it's quite a simple recipe, and I've done versions of this. I did one with cheese, and I did one with garlic and herbs, I think. But this is just going to be a plain one, which will be ideal for my sandwiches. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And before I start to talk about the ingredients, let me just say that I have twice as much of everything here as I need for the recipe. And that's because I'm doing a double batch, but once I've mixed the dough, I will remove half of it and work just with the single batch. So I'm going to give the ingredients for just one loaf, a single batch, even though it looks like more on the counter here. So 650 grams, which is 4 1/3 cups based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of bread flour. 370 grams of lukewarm water at about 40 degrees Celsius, which is about 105 Fahrenheit, I think. And that's 1.5 cups plus 2 teaspoons. 1 packet of instant yeast, 7 grams. 6 grams, half a tablespoon of caster sugar. 3/4 of a teaspoon, which is 2.5 grams of diastatic malt powder. Now that's entirely optional. I'm using it because I've got it, and it does help to give an extra rise to the bread, and it also helps to colour the crust as well, but that's entirely optional. If you don't have it, don't go out and buy it. You can make a perfectly good loaf without it. And I also have here 6 grams, 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's all the ingredients, and we simply need to make our dough. And I should say you can make this dough entirely by hand, even though I'm going to use my stand mixer. So I'm going to put the water into the bowl of my stand mixer, and I'm going to add into that my other ingredients. And I should say at this stage, as always, I tend to forget an ingredient. I have here 14 grams, 1 tablespoon of softened unsalted butter. That was standing to one side, so I missed that. So I'm going to put my sugar into the water and my yeast and the diastatic malt powder, and then the butter as well. And I'm holding the salt and the flour back at the moment. And I'm simply going to mix those together. And that's good enough. The butter's broken up a little bit, and it will break up more as I add the flour. So then I'm going to add in about half of my flour. And I'm going to sprinkle the salt over that. And I'm simply going to mix that on a low speed until it comes together into a sort of shaggy, wet dough, basically. And And that's good enough, and I'm going to continue adding the flour a little bit at a time until everything comes together into a nice shaggy dough, and it clears the sides of the bowl. So that's coming together, and I'm going to knead that until it's nice and smooth and very soft basically, and it should be quite stretchy. Now if you find that your dough is too wet, you can add a little bit more flour, and if you think it's too dry, you can add a drop more water. So I've kneaded my dough for 10 minutes, and I think that's probably just about right. So I'll check that. And the dough's slightly tacky, which is fine, and it's very stretchy and smooth. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to form that into a ball, and I'm going to cover it So I'm going to form it into a ball, and I'm going to cover it with my lid, and I'm going to leave it to double in size. You can grease a bowl and turn your dough over in the lightly greased bowl, and then cover that and allow it to double in size. I of course will divide this in two, so when I come back, the half that I have left in the bowl will have doubled in size. And I expect that to take between an hour and 2 hours, depending on the temperature in the kitchen. It's quite cold in my flat today, so it may take longer rather than shorter. And I left my dough for an hour, and it doubled in size, and I've tipped it out onto my counter. And now I'm going to form that into an oval shape, which is the shape of a bloomer. And to do that, I'm going to press it down into a rectangle, like that, and I'm going to fold it over and press it down again, and then I'm going to roll it up, and as you can see it's quite a strong dough, and then I'm going to simply roll that out a little bit. I want to make it slightly longer, like that. And I should say you can make this as long or as short as you like. The shorter ones will be taller when they bake. Longer ones will still be tall, but not quite so tall. So I'm rolling that to fit onto my baking tray like that. And I have a silicone mat here, but you can use parchment paper, and I'm going to pinch the ends together and just tuck them under like that. And that's going to rise quite nicely. So I'm going to cover that with a clean towel, and I'm going to leave that to rise again until it's just about doubled in size again and it feels slightly puffy. I'll show it to you at that stage, and I will have my oven preheated by then to 190 degrees Celsius, 170 Celsius with a fan, 375 Fahrenheit, and I will have a little tray of water in the bottom of the oven, because the water is going to create steam, which is what is going to allow the outside of the bread to become crusty. And as I said, you can make it as crusty as you want, and part of that is by baking it for longer than I will bake it for, but I'll explain that. So I'll come back to you when this has risen nicely for 45 minutes to an hour and my oven is preheated, and then we're ready to score the top of the bread and bake it. So my dough has risen for about 45 to 50 minutes, and it's nice and fluffy. If I press it, it springs back, leaving a slight indentation which will actually work itself out. So I'm going to take a sharp blade and I'm going to score 5 diagonal lines. So I'll start at one end and then I'll do the same at the other end. And then I'm going to do one across the centre. And then one between those lines on each side. Like that. And that's ready to go into the oven. Now I have my pan of water in the oven and it's hot water, and so that will steam when I open the oven to put this in. But I've actually got a little spray with some more water, and I'm just going to do a fine mist spray over the top of the dough like that, and I'm going to put that into the oven and I'm going to bake it for 30 minutes. It's going to spring up and rise. That's the blooming part, for the bloomer, and it will bake and it will colour nicely on the top. And after 30 minutes, experience tells me that my crust will be just as I like it. You can leave it in for another 5 minutes, you can leave it in for another 10 minutes. It's how thick and hard you want your crust to be, really. But I'll take mine out after 30 minutes, and when it's cooled down I'll come back and show you the results. I baked my bloomer loaf for 30 minutes and it baked up quite nicely, it rose nicely. I took it out of the oven and I've allowed it to cool down and I've sliced it. It's still slightly warm and it's always best to leave it until it's completely cool, but I wanted to come back to show you. So this is what it looks like, and it's baked up very nicely, as you can see, and I've put some butter on one of the slices, so I'll have a taste of that. It's very good indeed. Lovely and soft. A slight crunch on the crust. The crust will soften. It will still be nice and chewy, but it will soften as it cools down completely. And this is perfect for sandwiches, perfect for almost anything. I like it for toast as well. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.